Hey everybody, I'm Thomas from Backscatter, and today we're showing off the new Sony 100mm macro lens. This is Sony's latest macro lens and part of their flagship G-Master series of lenses. We've been diving this lens all over the world, and we are extremely excited to share our results with you. Stick around and we'll go over why this is one of the most exciting lenses for underwater we have seen from Sony in a while, and how it stacks up to the classic Sony 90mm we've been diving for years. And of course, we're gonna answer the big question: is it worth the upgrade? All right, let's find out. So let's start things off by getting down and dirty with the 100's image quality, because this is always the first thing we care about with any lens. Since the Sony 100 is a G-Master lens, it's extraordinarily sharp, and we couldn't be more pleased with the image quality coming out of it. It's arguably one of the sharpest macro lenses we've ever used, rivaling the sharpest we've shot, the OM System 90mm. Most importantly for Sony shooters, we found the 100 to outperform the older 90mm in fine detail. Don't get us wrong, the Sony 90 is still a sharp lens, but the 100mm does come out on top in terms of sharpness. Much like the Sony 90, we still saw some diffraction with the 100 at f/22, so we tended to lean on lower f-stops like f/16 and below to remedy this and get overall sharper results. But when it comes to image quality, sharpness isn't the only thing we're after. The 100mm also renders beautiful backgrounds, giving you cleaner, more pleasing backdrops. It produces really nice bokeh with smooth, creamy backgrounds that help you create beautiful portraits of your subjects. Now, here's where things start to get even more interesting. The Sony 100 has a native reproduction ratio of 1.4:1 compared to 1:1 on the Sony 90. That's a 40% increase in magnification, which is actually a big deal underwater. This puts you into super macro range without the help of any close-up diopters. But that doesn't mean a diopter won't help. More on that later. Basically, those tiny critters that used to feel just out of reach with the 90 are now filling the frame. Okay, so we know the Sony 100 produces fantastic image quality, but how well does it autofocus? If you've used the Sony 90mm on older bodies, pretty much anything before the A7S III released back in 2020, you probably remember autofocus being inconsistent at best. Somewhere between, I guess this works, and please focus already. Newer Sony bodies improved that quite a bit, but the 100 manages to take things a step further. The raw speed increase isn't a day and night difference on newer cameras, but where we really saw improvements was subject detection. Animal and eye detection were noticeably more reliable, and we saw far less focus hunting. In the field, the focus just stuck better, especially on small subjects at higher magnifications, which, as most of you know, is the most difficult test for any focusing system. Now, what about working distance? Overall, we found it to be comfortable and pretty similar to the 90mm underwater. The working distance is short enough to make lighting your subject super easy while still giving you enough space to shoot smaller, more skittish subjects without pushing them away. But what about super shy subjects? This is where the 100mm has a trick the 90 doesn't. Unlike the 90, the 100 is fully compatible with Sony's 1.4x and 2x teleconverters. This is one of the only macro lenses available that has this ability. Let's talk about why it's so cool. For those unfamiliar, a teleconverter increases the focal length and magnification of a lens. So a 1.4x tele will increase your magnification by 40%, and a 2x doubles it. Basically, you can fill the frame with your subject without physically getting closer, which is huge for shy critters. We spent a lot of time with the 1.4x teleconverter and had great results. Autofocus still worked flawlessly with it attached, and we were able to track subjects with ease. Using the 1.4 times teleconverter, we could capture images of super shy subjects like this twin spot goby. Without it, it would be extremely difficult to get close enough to fill the frame with a subject without scaring it off. We did use the 2 times as well, but for most situations, it felt like more reach than we really needed. Just keep in mind, there are trade-offs. Your maximum aperture drops from f2.8 to f4 with a 1.4 tele. You will also get some image quality loss and diffraction at higher apertures, so teleconverters are best shot with a more open aperture. All that said, having the 1.4 times as an option is a big deal for capturing shy critters, and it's definitely worth keeping in your toolbox.
Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying this video. You can join our family by buying your underwater photo and video gear from us here at Backscatter. Every purchase includes free lifetime tech support, we'll beat any price hands down, and we ship worldwide daily. Our in-house authorized warranty service center has you covered for any maintenance and repairs. Here at Backscatter, we dive, shoot, and service everything we sell. Whether you're point and shoot or professional, we look forward to helping you meet your underwater imaging goals. Now back to the video.
Now, beyond teleconverters, there are a ton of really interesting accessories you can pair with the 100, and some of them can radically change how the lens looks underwater. We've used it with a variety of underwater optics and lenses from Nauticam and AOI, and it handled everything we threw at it really well. With the Nauticam SMC-3, we were able to push it into super macro territory, capturing even more highly detailed shots than would even be possible with the lens alone. We also tested Nauticam's MFO lenses. The MFO1 offers a slight magnification around 1.2 to 1.6 times, improves focus performance, and produces sharper image quality, while the MFO3 expanded the field of view to closer to a 60mm, making it possible to shoot larger subjects and turning a lens into a powerhouse for blackwater. And then there's the most unique setup we tried, the Nauticam EMWL1. This is a wide-angle macro lens, giving you kind of bug eye or I guess a shrimp eye perspective. You get a wide background with macro subjects, which creates a really unique look that's hard to achieve any other way. Using the EMWL, the 100's autofocus was very reliable. The 90mm would occasionally backfocus or misfocus, but the 100 is much more consistent. Across all these setups, the 100 performed extremely well. It's a very flexible lens, and it holds up no matter how you decide to rig it. One last note on performance, stabilization. And this one was a little surprising. The Sony 100 has in-lens stabilization in addition to the in-camera stabilization found in most Sony bodies. This helps a lot with handheld shooting in low light and for smoother video. And it works really well, almost too well in some cases. When we were trying to shoot with motion blur or slow shutter techniques, the stabilization was actually fighting against us. The fix is actually quite simple. Just turn stabilization off for the lens and the camera, and you can easily capture motion blur in slow shutter shots. But keep in mind, that's a physical switch on the lens, so make sure to do that before you load it into the housing. So, all in all, the Sony 100 is an extremely capable macro lens. But is it worth getting? From all our testing, the answer is yes. Between the sharpness, improved subject detection, higher magnification, teleconverter compatibility, and overall flexibility, it's a meaningful upgrade over the 90mm. It is more expensive, and if you already own the 90, you'll likely need a new port or extension, but if you're looking to push your macro to the next level, this lens absolutely delivers. Thanks for joining us for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, send us an email, or drop a comment below, and we're always happy to help. And remember, your purchases from Backscatter or any of our authorized dealers help us keep making more of these videos. We offer free lifetime tech support with every purchase, and we dive, shoot, and service everything that we sell. I'm Thomas from Backscatter, and I'll see you next time.